Hello everyone and welcome to QUTV News today. I'm Jay Hamill. There are a few new sports on campus this year. Some are in the recruiting phase and others are just getting started. One of the new sports is sprint football. Joining me now to explain how to play sprint football is QU coach Connor McLaughlin. Thanks for being here, Coach.
Jay, appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
For sure. So the first thing I want to talk about is kind of what is sprint football and how did you get introduced to it?
Yeah, so it's a pretty simple thing to me to explain to people. It's football like you've always known it. It's still 11-11 full contact, played the same way that it has been, for hundreds of years. The only difference is our guys are smaller. Our guys have certain weight limits they have to maintain in order to be eligible to play. But outside of that, it's football as you've always seen it.
Okay, as it's new to QU, and kind of talk about the 6-team league you guys will be competing in.
Yeah, so we formed a new conference, the Midwest Sprint Football League. There's another conference on the East Coast that's been around since 1934, the Collegiate Sprint Football League. So our league here in the Midwest, again, the MSFL, it is us, Fontbonne University in St. Louis, Calumet, St. John's, and Calumet, Indiana. St. Mary's of the Woods in Terre Haute, Indiana, and then we've got Midway University, which is in Midway, Kentucky, right by Lexington, and then Bellarmine University, which is in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. So this time of the year, is this considered your off season then?
Yes and no. That's kind of been the fun and challenging thing. At the same time is we don't really kind of have a lot of downtime. Just because our recruiting is going to be a little bit different than what our Division II guys are doing, because we still target kids long after signing day and all that kind of stuff. So things are slowing down, that's for sure. But we're still recruiting. We're still trying to find another 10, 15, 20, however many that want to join that first team. But everything's been going pretty smoothly so far, and staff is starting to come together, and before we know it, August will be here pretty quick.
So you talk a little bit about recruiting. How many current players do you have, or how many are committed so far?
So right now we have 51 committed for the first year. We currently have 5 on campus that transferred here at semester, and like I said, we're still out there, still trying to find more kids. Our big thing is we wanted this to be a local. Kind of a local opportunity for a lot of kids. We've got a lot of, when I did the calculations way back in June and July when I was interviewing, there's something close to 50 high schools within a 120-mile radius of Quincy that are all under 400 enrollments, which according to statistics, their average high school football player is going to be about 180 pounds, which is about what we try to shoot for. So this definitely was something that we had a good pool to choose from a local standpoint, so it allows for us to offer an opportunity to our local kids that other colleges around us can't offer them. So it's something we've been focusing on with the recruiting.
So a question that kind of popped in my head at first is, can a player from traditional football play for you? Can they play for both?
So they can come. There's no difference in eligibilities. We're not governed by the NCAA, which is good and bad in a lot of aspects. But so as long as they meet the weight requirements, they can play. Again, I've had a lot of people kind of jokingly, stop me on the street or in the grocery store or something, and joke, why weigh at that? I have eligibility, and I joke back and saying, well, technically everybody does. As long as you haven't already played sprint football, which there's only a select schools that would have been a thing for. So you can you can't clearly play it in the same season because they're both in the fall. But as long as you hit that weight requirement, there's nothing else from an eligibility standpoint. As long as again academically you're in good standing with the university. Outside of that, your weight limit academically, and you should be ready to go and play.
So the last thing I have for you is, what are your goals as a first-year program?
I've kind of set ours a little bit high and I've told our coaching staff and everyone here at the university. Very rarely in sports do you get a set of standard. A lot of times you're chasing standards, right? There's somebody else that's out there that's kind of at the top, at the peak, and you try to mimic them to the best of your ability and try to reach what they've been able to accomplish. So very rarely do you get the opportunity to set that standard, to be the team that everyone else chases. So that's kind of how we have approached it. Is our standard is going to be the one that everyone else is chasing after year one. And that all started with, again, getting the right coaches in here, and also with the recruiting. I had the very lofty goal of getting to 60 players, which I'm still going to hang my head on that. I'm going to make sure I get there. But that's, what we wanted to do was to be able to just kind of be the pillar now of how other sprint programs, as we continue to move forward, years and years down the line, how they want to try to build their program. It should be off of us. I think we have all the tools and the ability, the resources here to make that happen. And so that's what we wanted to do from that standpoint. And in a win-loss, standard that, we want to win the conference and be able to play in our bowl game against the other conference's champion. We've had an agreement to play with them, which will probably be Army or Navy. They've won their conference for the last 50-something years. So that's kind of our goal, was we wanted to be the standard. We wanted to get to that game to play Army and Navy and be the one that everyone kind of continues to chase moving forward.
Well, thank you, Coach. I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to talk with us today.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
You can find QUTV on social media and QUmedia.net. I'm Jay Hamill. Have a great day.